All right, everybody, we are live. Dynasty Mere Search for Uhuru. And I have my good brother, every Wednesday night. We early today, though. Today it's only 6, so we're early today.
Yep.
6:13. We're like 2 hours early. So
2
every
hours early.
night, we have my brother Kyler Genesis on, aka Kyler Thanos. And tonight's subject topic is Black Americans and Africans have all the degrees, but still produce nothing. Meaning the degrees are not tangible because we still need the Chinese, and we got people on Facebook bragging about how the Lebanese gives them low wage jobs and they can speak pidgin. So I mean, we have all these degrees, but we're still relying on the Lebanese to give us low wage jobs because they speak pidgin, and the Chinese. What's up with that, Kala?
Well, it's not just in Africa; it's here too.
Right. I said
It's
that's
like
Africans and Africans.
we have an education deficit in the Black world. You know what I'm saying? Some of us have basically have refused to really acknowledge the fact that you are not going to get around that old thing saying you have to pick up a book once in a while. You know what I'm saying? You
Right.
have to read something once in a while. You have to take that nugget head of yours and put it between some pages once in a while. You know what I'm saying? I was talking to a client today. Are we Muslim? Am I Muslim? How
No,
do I sound?
no, you're good. You're good. You're good.
Okay. I was talking to a client of mine, a white guy.
Mm-hmm.
Came in the office today, and he's an insurance agent too. So I was signing his friend up to a plan, and we was talking. He says he has. I thought I had a lot of books, but you can tell this guy's a geek, nerd, whatever like that. He's into Harry Potter. Anytime a white boy's into Harry Potter, you know he's a nerd. He's a geek. He has a lot of books and everything.
Yeah.
So I'm just off the top of my head talking about a topic. Boom, he's picking it up. Boom, boom, boom. You see where he's at, He said he has thousands of books. His friend that lives with him, he's kind of slow. He was the one to plan before. He goes, "Hey, you got thousands of books at the house. Thousands. Thousands. I mean, when I say per person, people." And then we're gonna get to the topic. In your household, right? When I come to your house, first thing I should see is a set of essentials, right?
Instead of what?
I should see a globe.
A globe.
I should see a globe.
Mhm.
I should see an almanac, right? An atlas. And not only that, that's just the basics. You should have your own collection of books, okay? Autobiography, Malcolm X, everything. Everybody's seen that. But as far as world knowledge, you need literally novels, historical novels, business whatever it is. Your house should be full of information. People don't understand when you open up a book. And I did this when I wrote my novel. A good author is going to put information in there, whether it's for entertainment purposes or whatever, that you're never going to find anyplace else. You may find in a history book and everything. He'll start to add that to educate you and entertain you at the same time and inform you. The reason why a lot of black people you can tell them that you didn't come from Africa and everything is because, and let's be honest, majority of black people never read.
Right.
They never picked up history books. They say, well, if you take away this TV show Roots and you take away that, and I'm free now. I don't have to worry about going to Africa because I only saw Roots and everything.
No. Hey, it's evolved. Now we went from Roots to Zamunda coming to America, and now Wakanda.
Yeah. And a point about that is, and the Wakanda thing is all fiction. But what I'm saying is this, the idea that people think about how serious this is. People, I'm trying to get my face. I look crazy when I do live and I look up and I'm looking up in the sky and everything. So I gotta get like you, Diane, looking at the screen. I gotta get used to that.
No, just keep it going. Keep it going.
Okay, so a people, when you have a group of people and a serious segment of them look like they came from the Congo, but they are actually going around got millions of subscribers, and they're saying that they're copper colored Hebrew Native American, and they're indigenous to North America, and slavery never happened, and they violently. I've seen some of these people If I knew I was next to him, it'd be fisticuffs going on.
Right.
These people are violently opposed to the idea of identifying that their ancestors act because it's so painful. It is so painful to recognize that your ancestors actually came from Africa and what happened to us. Why? Because the ultimate thing is, well, what do? You're living in a situation, okay, the white man made his money off our ancestors' blood. He never paid us back for it. And the whole thing we have is this pseudo citizenship that we hold on to with dear life and everything. And the
Right.
bottom line, this is as far as it's going to get. The horrors that we see, the black on black crime, the unemployment, with misemployment, the broken dreams, the police shootings, all the stuff like that are the residual effects of how we came here. You didn't. If you were indigenous to America, you would be in a better position than you are right now. What happened to if you were indigenous to America? Where are your cities?
Where your
You know what I'm
land?
saying?
Where's your casinos
Where's
at?
your land? Where's all that stuff at? No, you are basically indigenous to Africa. You're slaves here in America, and the bottom line is that's the way it is. Now, getting back to education, the educated class of black people have been used, talented test, whatever like that, to mislead the mass of people. It's worse than having being uneducated. It's being miseducated. That's even worse. That's even worse when you have people miseducating people, misleading people for their own personal gain. And I take that very, very personally when
Right.
I see people. And I always say the road to hell is often paved with good intentions.
Hmm.
We have a lot of people who are out here in our community who have a lot of good intentions. They say we love you, black people. I love black people. You know, and whenever I hear that word, that phrase, I love. I run like you would if you saw a big rattlesnake in the room. You know what I'm saying? When somebody says, "I love black people," run, run, and run fast.
Hey,
Because the bottom line is this: most people only love themselves.
Real quick. Are you
They
watching?
love hearing the sound of their voice, and they love what they can get out of you, and they love what you can do for them to boost their ego and their personal wealth, their personal whatever they're trying to do. That's the love they're talking about.
Colin,
If we had all this love that people loved us, we would not be in the situation we in right now. Am I lying dice?
no,
You
you're right.
know?
Real quick, Colin, are you reading the chat?
No, I didn't read the chat. Let
Okay.
me.
People want to know where they get your book. The book I still gotta finish.
Okay, it's called Journey to the Promised Land. It's on Amazon. It's called Journey to the Promised Land, Voyage of the Barkazor. It's about the Liberia Exodus of 18. It was an actual a real event. It was the ex, but most people don't know about it because most is this whole event of the biggest event in Black history, in African American history was erased from the history books. And I thought that if I could write this novel, I could save this history. Now people talking about the Azor. I see all kinds of professors are now examining this now since my novel came out, and they're saying, "Well, gee, this happened." And everything. Nobody wants to basically talk about the idea of leaving America, building a nation of our own in Africa. They will always use Liberia scapegoat. Oh, yeah, we
All
got
right,
to another Liberia.
here's my favorite. It was an example of the Black American becoming a colonizer. What
Yeah,
the
colonizer. Yeah, get the hell out of here. You know.
the
Yeah,
black
any
white man's
excuse not to
wife.
do anything. Any excuse not to anything. Any excuse not to anything. You sit on your any excuse just to sit in America and do absolutely nothing with your life and everything. So the whole thing is this. What I'm saying is we have been misled. The nationalist movement in Black America has never had the backing of the academia in Black America. Academia in Black America has basically brought into integration against all odds and everything. Integration. Now, let me ask you. Let's examine something. Integration was brought on by the force of the federal government. That means against the will of the majority of white people who don't want to integrate with black people. They interviewed black white Americans back in the 1940s and 50s. And they said, when they first proposed this, and they said, what do you think about integrating with the Negroes? They said, it's not about color or race or anything, but we think the Negroes in America are different than other people. So in other words, they said if it was a Chinese person, Asian person, or a Spanish person, it'd be different. But Negroes are different people. They will never accept them. They're a different species of humanity. You know what I'm saying? Black and white can never be assimilated. In other words, basically, what keeps you separated from white people has nothing to do with how American you think you are, because you look ridiculous when you're out there with your American flag talking about I'm American, I'm an American Negro, you know,
Mhm.
I'm an American black man, you know, those kind of stupid stuff like that. You try to be more American than a white man because white people don't believe in that stuff.
Right.
Whoa, oh, what did you just say? I'm gonna let you in on a little secret before I go on. White people don't even believe in that. Because if white people would really believe in the American flag, then why were they so forgiving of the Confederacy when they caused 600,000 deaths and nearly destroyed this country, this republic, and almost won? But yet, those same white people will defend Confederate
To the death.
monuments. Somebody say I'm not sounding so clear.
I can hear you,
Hold on.
but
Maybe I'm sitting next to the computer.
yeah, that's better.
Okay. How do I sound? Testing, testing. If
You
I
sound
sound
fine.
good, press 1.
First one, if he sounds better in the chat room.
Okay. All right. Okay. Now, this is what I was saying. The average white person thinks the whole thing is like this. When he sees the American flag, so long as that American flag doesn't go against his basic sense of well-being, that means his whiteness, his worldview, and his power structure. Long as that jives right with him, you can say red, white, and blue, American flag, and everything. And he don't mind you waving that flag because it validates the world that he lives in. You know what I'm saying? It's all about is he going to maintain his power, his way of life, his lifestyle, everything. Now you're sitting there in the hood, in the ghetto, bullets flying over the place, poverty. Your women don't respect you. Nobody respects you. Everybody comes off the boat, disrespects you, and you're out there waving a flag like you got something to be proud of. You know, everybody comes over here and says, "This is a group of people that I can feel superior to." You know, and then to be honest with yourself, if everybody else could come over here and basically feel like they're superior to the American Negro, the black man in America, why can't our brothers and sisters in Africa do the same thing? They're like, why can't I join in on the fun? You know, why can't I have some fun? You know, we got these people over here that the society looks down upon. Says that are nothing, and we could just do whatever and everything. So why should I come over here and have any respect for them? Why should I have any regard for their feelings? Why? Because nobody cares about your plight. Nobody's lifting a hand to talk about police brutality as far as you're concerned. Nobody talks about the negative imagery we see in Black America through the media and everything. Nobody cries out about that. Nobody cares. You got people that when you see negative images of you in the media and you know it's done deliberately, just think about it. There's some white person, group of white people, young white people sitting in these media rooms saying, let's show this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Let's show this. And it's done deliberately. And they know what they're doing. And the whole thing is this: don't tell me about the so-called liberals. Uh, uh, don't talk about the liberals and all this kind of freaking nonsense. Because how come none of these liberals ever talked about Mayor De Blasio? There's more police brutality in New York than any other place. Where's the so-called guy is married to a black woman in New York City, and nothing ever happened to the police? He's scared of his own police department.
Right.
They play this game where they come out and they'll say some stuff and everything, but the bottom line, nothing ever gets happens and everything.
Exactly.
And this happens in cities where there's black precincts, where there's black mayors. Look what's happening in Dallas. They're almost ready to throw this. When the girl killed the guy, that girl police officer killed the
Yeah.
guy. They're
Yeah.
ready to throw. They're ready. Well, come on. Well, and these are two females. Two
Right.
black females, police chief and all that. They're ready to throw the case under the thing. Well, let's get on with life. This, that, the other thing. Nobody gives a flying fuck about you. Nobody cares about you. No one cares about you because it's all about power. You know what I'm saying? It's all about power. The people that are in power do not want to share. Everyone's out for power. Now, that's going to lead up to some dynamite stuff I'm going to talk about tonight. And it's going to be very explosive. I'm going to say some stuff. I'm going to make some new friends and I'm going to make some enemies tonight. But you know how the college Genesis is, right? I have to tell it like it is. Nobody gives, this is my premise for the night. Nobody gives a fuck about African Americans. You know what I'm saying? Everybody is out for what they can use for us. There is no real Pan-Africanism going on. None. A lot of you pro-black Pan-Africans are no different than the people y'all talk about white Jesus. Y'all the same freaking people. Y'all all a bunch of emotional people who have nothing tangible. You got your degrees, you got your education, you have your symposium, your synopsis, and everything. And the bottom line that nothing ever tangible comes out of it. Because I've been dealing with this for online and everything, like to meet with people and everything for 10 years. And I'm ready to say on record that everyone's full of shit. Yeah, we're sincere. But the bottom line is this: we as black as a race are not serious about our situation. You cannot basically surrender everything to another race of people to take care of you, and then they basically talk about you are serious. When you are serious, let me give you an example. I'm reading a Japanese history book, The Making of Modern Japan, right? I'm almost in tears when I read this book, and I'm saying, that's how people get strong. How these little tiny Asian people can rise up with that. How do you, and basically build an empire out of nowhere, be a backward feudal province in 20 years and challenge the Western powers for dominance in Asia? How did they do that? How did they do that? What is it about Asian culture that you don't have Asians talk about? Well, we got to bring Africans in to build our roads and everything like that. Or we don't have to bring Europeans in to build our roads. What is it about the African? We have to rely on Europeans everything to take care of us.
Well,
we got to rely
on the rebuttal is, well, when Saudi Arabia was built, Europeans came in and built Saudi Arabia. That's the rebuttal.
Well, Arabs, you gotta say something about Arabs. Arabs and Africans are two different things. That was a Saudi royal family. You know what I'm saying? There was no large Saudi nation. You know what I'm saying? There's no large millions of people, in the Saudi nation. Those are people basically who are living in the desert, whatever like that, and they got a royal family who basically Saudi Arabia is a creation of the West. All these countries, Iraq was a creation of the West. 3 different sections that they created on a napkin. Literally, Iraq, Nigeria, all these countries were drew up on a map or on a napkin over dinner. You know what I'm saying? They said, okay, we'll draw it like this here. Like say do Iran. And the oil companies control those places. The oil companies fund the governments in those regions, right? And they give the governments funding to rule over and suppress the people and everything like that. That's what happens. Those countries do not belong to the so-called Saudi Arabians. Those countries do not belong to Iraq. Those countries, Iran is the only country that was basically had a revolution in 1979, right? They threw the Shah out and everything, and they're trying to basically be a free people. The only thing they basically made a mistake is they're trying to go instead of industrializing the nation, right, and modernizing the nation, and kick out the remaining mullahs and everything like that. They're trying to pursue nuclear weapons, which is stupid. They're trying to pursue nuclear weapons instead of industrialization. Now,
let me ask you, why can't you do both?
Well, it's like this. If you have industrialization, right? Usually, if you have industrialization, the whole idea is If you can industrialize your economy, right, you have a high standard of living. The people have a high standard of living, right? You have urbanization, you got high standard of living, you have business relations and procurement and a global system of pipeline of business and everything, which are constantly making people rich or millionaires. You have a stock exchange, you have all these things like that. So when people are usually in that position of things and they're making money and they're getting rich and everything, they don't tend to think about war. Get to buy. Perfect example. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But when people basically do not have it like that, and they know the population. See, the whole thing idea of nuclear weapons and everything is not so much as Iran ever wants to go to war with the West. That's not what it is. The whole idea is to keep the masses of people in line. You ever heard the phrase what Edgar Allan Poe wrote? He said, "War was never designed for external fighting. It's designed to force a social policy internally."
Mm.
Let me give you an example. Remember back in 2010 when Iran had that uprising and they wanted to have democracy and everything like that. And this guy Ahmadinejad, they fired on a protester and they killed that one peaceful girl and everything. And they basically was the Iranian see most of Iran people want to be modernized. They want to industrialize, right? If you industrialize the people, right, then you don't have a hold on them. They got money, they got a way of life and everything. Their thought process will change. They'll be in the modern world. They're gonna want cars, they're gonna want food, they're gonna want nice restaurants, they're going to way of life, they want college, they want all those things that they say they were denied. So what they do, they basically pick a fight with the West. They say, see, America's a big Satan. The big Satan. Oh, look at Satan. And then the people who are progressive say, no, that's not the case. We can work with America if we do this. No, see, those are the traitors right there. And it happens all the time. Same thing. Now, there's some people in the West who like it like that. So, because they don't want Iran to become a member, so it was democracy that kicked the United States puppet government out of there and put the Shah and kicked the Shah out of there. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? The United States, America had Iran was originally democratic.
Whoa.
They want national.
I thought it was the United States government supported the Shah, not the Shah,
Yeah,
but
right. Let me put it like this. Let me put it like this.
supported.
Iran. Let me say it. Iran elected a democratically elected government, right?
Right, but see, I thought the Democratic elected government was a puppet from the West, and then
Right. No. Let me put it like this: how it happened. United States in the 1950s, the Democratic government came in, right? They wanted to nationalize the oil industry, right? They overthrew that democratically elected government. The United States think about this. The United States overthrew a democratically elected government in Iran and installed the Shah, right?
okay, that's right. Yeah, right. You're right.
And then the Shah was overthrown in '79.
By the Ayatollah,
Yeah, the Ayatollah, you know what I'm saying, and the student uprising.
All right.
Right. So that's what happened. That's what happened. Now now the whole thing is in Iran is, and when you think of Iran, what do you think of? Oh, people blow us up, people are terrorists and everything. But actually, Iran was a one time a very very progressive society, modern society. That they wanted things modernized and everything. The United States do not want that. You know, the enemies of Africa, Asia, and Arabia do not want modernization. They do not want that like that because why? Because those people say, you know, something we don't need to sell oil no more. You know, something we don't need to do it like this.
Right.
You know, if you want to keep the status quo, Saudi Arabia, you can write Saudi Arabia off. They just killed the journalist. The Trump, the CIA knows this guy killed that journalist, right? The president of Saudi Arabia killed the journalist, right?
The U.S.
You know, but there's nothing the United States can do about it.
They're not gonna do nothing.
There's nothing, you know. So let's take this now. If we agree that Saudi Arabia and all these big countries have a little more juice than Africa, so right? Let's agree to that, right? So what do you think? What do you think is going on in Africa, where you have leaders like Buhari and the president of Cameroon and everything like that, all hell breaking loose all over the continent? This clown, that's president of I forgot his name is a president of Zimbabwe and everything like that. all these clowns and everything all over the continent, these dictators and everything like that. These people are in power because the West says gives them a wink and a nod, and the average person does not know how to rise up and everything like that. Why? Because the West has this idea that what they do is they say, "Oh, this person's graduate from a prestigious University of Oxford. He got all these accolades. You don't know what his grades look like. You don't know what his grades. You don't know what he
Right.
did or whatever,
Right.
like that. You know what I'm saying? You have no idea. The guy could be a friggin' illiterate, but all you know is he has these accolades and everything like that. And so you go along with, oh my God, this guy must know what he's talking about. And I did use my soul searching, my digging, and everything. And I found out that most of these people are freaking ignorant. These people that are tasked with leading nation states are freaking ignorant, and it's all about the status quo. Education of the masses is not taken seriously on Black America and in Africa. It's not taken seriously because if you educate the people properly, we could solve this problem in a generation. When I wrote my novel, right, one of the things people take away from my novel is the fact that you mean to tell me there was a discussion going on right around Civil War time because before my novel came out, the narrative was we're gonna wait another 100 years. Somebody asked me about Malema. I'm gonna get to Malema. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Uh, the narrative is that Black people were fighting for civil rights, even though during this country, see, the whole thing is America has this idea. America has the image of a African American that they created. You know what I'm saying?
Say it again.
You
Say it
know,
again. Say it again.
America has the image that they package to the world of an African American. You know what I'm saying? What these people are these long suffering people that no matter how much abuse and stuff, they're just sitting there singing "We Shall Overcome" and they're out there and everything. This is what makes people hate the Black church. You know what I'm saying? If they knew about the real Black church, the AME church and all stuff like that, they would say, "Oh wow,
Hey, Colin.
AME."
Colin, I was going to say this. Also, speak on since you're speaking on producing Dengati, Aliko Dengate.
Okay,
When you get a chance.
okay. We'll talk about Dangote too. I wrote something about on your thread about the when you made with Dr. Mumby and Phil,
Mm-hmm.
and I talked about how secondary and stuff like that, and I talked about Dangote and everything. I'm so gonna talk on that. So my point is this: Black America, we have not been educated. We have not been educated about what our role is in the nationalist movement has basically been abandoned for integration. Now, it does not mean that we're ever going to be integrated and assimilated because, like I said, integration and assimilation ultimately means, get this, folks. This means and you get a little residual of it too. When I was coming up, let me say this right. And some people don't take this the wrong way. But when I was coming up, right, I went to a majority white high school, right?
Mm-hmm. I
All the
did.
Black kids stuck, huh?
I did
Yeah,
too.
yeah. Well, I'm a little before you, but blacks and whites did not mix. You know what I'm saying? One of the things that kept us safe in our community with blacks and whites and everything is that we didn't date white girls. White guys did not date black girls. This did not happen. This is the 80s. What that created was the fact that anytime you seen the black girl, it was like, oh, she gotta date somebody and everything. We did not have to worry about white boys, whatever like that. So black people stuck together. You see black kids going out there double dates and everything like that, and black kids stuck together. Fast forward now is with integration and all these people talk about race and all that don't matter and everything. The social context of Black America, which kept Black people on the straight and narrow. I'm gonna go to a Black college. I'm gonna build a Black family. I'm gonna do all these things and everything like that. It's all but gone now. Why? Because of the toxic thing of integration. Integration means screw the Black community. I just do my own thing. Nobody wants to basically talk about that. Nobody wants to talk about that. They say, well, if I'm gonna live in America, I should be able to live where I want to, marry how I want to. Okay, that's fine. But at the same time, when you see all hell breaking loose in the so-called inner cities and everything, because kids don't have role models and you don't have business people and people not investing, really, now that's what you got. You moved off into your nice, comfortable suburbs and everything, and you're looking on 6 o'clock news. What the hell's going on? And they'll say, "I wish that would just stop. What you crying?" And you're down there trying to so-called give back and everything like that, and stuff like that, and nothing's working. And they'll say, "Well, Colin, what can exactly we do?" The whole idea, and say this, say this, say this thing. If we were really serious, right, to give everybody a chance, right, not saying everybody, right, nationhood was the answer. Why? Because that would force black people to learn how to govern ourselves. That was not only that, it'll force us to learn how to live under black authority, black laws. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Learn how to respect black women. Learn how to respect black policy. Learn how to build for the future of your children, everything like that. If we were on that path, we'd be unstoppable. Now there's no direction. And since there's no direction, we have charlatans out here in the media and online taking advantage of us. And I feel bad because people are like, oh yeah, I bought such and such book or not. Yeah, I got the next book, and I feel so bad because I was there too. You got good black people who really think they're gonna build a community and everything. You got charlatans out there selling them books, tapes, and CDs and everything, making a killing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Playing on black people's ignorance, misfortune, and it just I don't know, man. It just this heart. If Let me tell you something. If you got something to tell black folks and everything, I don't have no problem with somebody monetizing enterprise and everything. But it's getting to the point where somebody got to stop all this because I don't see any end result, no fruits of it. You know what I'm saying? If you're telling somebody about a black book camp,
Colin,
whatever,
what should be the end result of it?
you should see what you should see is a black. Hey, here's the word. Where's the black consortium? Where's the nationwide black investment group? At least with Jay Morrison, he gave us something. You know what I'm saying? Think about that. You know what I'm saying? The Tulsa group. That was something I could agree with. Why? Because he produced something tangible. And you see the same people will start attacking him. Now somebody said now traveling 4K, college shuttle bus correcting black women. That's matriarch. No, I'm not a matriarch. I'm a patriarchal. If you are a true patriarch, brother, you would basically understand that you don't have to. Your women will respect you to the point where you're like, okay, that's my other half. We have not built a patriarchy. You can only build a patriarchy when you're committed to nationhood. You know what I'm saying? When you can give your woman a land, a nation, on a global scale and everything, you got your own international business and everything, and you're taking care of yourself and everything, and then you'll see. I am a patriarch. Come on, I saw the way conservative women talk to you. You're not a patriarch. I saw the way, whatever. You can't please everybody. But I am a patriarch. You know what I'm saying? I am a patriarch. Oh, yeah. Look, look, women, look, just because I don't get up and say you be this, you
Yeah.
be that, that's not being a patriarch. Sometimes let me tell you something, sometimes being a man is knowing how to take your wounds and lick your wounds and be quiet. I learned that from my father. My father was very hard. Sometimes he let my mother just go off and yell and blah 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 blah. He just sit
Yeah.
back in the corner,
I
you
understand.
know.
I know the feel. I know the feel. Your father's not alone. He's not alone.
Yeah. So you know what I'm saying? That's what being a man is. He ain't always you gotta
Rise
pimp
up.
slap. You gotta rise up. You dare talk about me when that's what you have right now on social media. You
Right.
got these sisters out here dare to question some of these brothers and everything, and these dudes ready to go on a warpath. I'll knock them upside the head and whatnot. Paris Milan, to a 25-year-old girl, man. Why are you talking about threatening this young sister, man? Come on. Why you brothers out here talking about doing that, man? Because you said something you don't agree. If you were on the up and up, you know what I'm saying? Like people say what they want about college Genesis. I don't, because I know I'm doing what's right. You know what I'm saying? Because I know everything people say about me are lies. And if it's the truth, if it's something truthful, it's something I know I can correct. But for the most part, you know, I stay on up and up and everything. I'm not out here scamming nobody. I'm not out here doing all this stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to, use my name, whatever like that, to get women, stuff like that. I believe in nationhood, and I believe that nationalism is the way to go. And I'm trying to give legitimacy to the nationalist movement, which I think it deserves. We tried everything else. We tried everything else, and until the black man in America has something of his own, no one's gonna give us any respect. Our brothers and sisters are not gonna give us any respect. Africans, Europeans not gonna give us respect. And it's all about respect. How can you respect somebody who's basically at the mercy of another race? We're still playing everybody else, and then it dawned on me, right? Let me give you an example. A couple of my Liberian brothers were posting on Facebook, right? And I got angry and I thought about it. And that's the first of these are my good brothers, right? They were basically talking about how George Herbert Walker Bush was a good man.
Oh God.
No, but listen, hear me out. Hear me out. I know that's the same thing, right? They said, well, I remember it was George Herbert Walker Bush who gave them all asylum. Back in the early '90s when he came into office. Back in 1990, when Samuel Doe was killed and Charles Taylor took over. A lot of these brothers, thousands of Liberian brothers that are in Philly right now, came in the early '90s, and they were given asylum. It was George W. Bush extended asylum, right, to the point where indefinitely, indefinite asylum. And so you have a whole generation of Liberians who grew up in America. Everything, where they come from, George Herbert, and they're saying, well, we'll never forget him and everything like that. He helped us out. Bye. He did this for us. And then they said his son helped also get rid of Charles Taylor. That's their story. That's not my story. You know what I'm saying? Now, what I feel about Herbert Walker Bush will be a little different. But then again, I can't expect them to take on my story because they have their own story now. And we as black people in America understand that not every black person comes here got to take on our story. You know what I'm saying? And so therefore, as more and more black people come to America, our story is being diminished. You know what I'm saying? People still remember that Willie Horton thing. You know what I'm saying? Remember the Willie Horton ads, 1988? You probably remember that.
Go ahead and go into that. Is that where like they pretty much criminalized black men?
This is what happened.
Go ahead.
The guy Roger Ailes ran the ad. He eventually went on to create Fox News.
Oh, makes sense.
And then there was a campaign manager called Lee Atwater at the time. Lee Atwater created this thing since the '70s. He said, look, he went to like David Duke and the racists and everything. He says, look, you don't say the N-word. You don't say nigga no more. You don't say porch monkey when you talk about white. You say little buzzwords like bust something. You know what I'm saying? He said you say little things like welfare. Mm-hmm. And he was the one who created the term welfare queen.
Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying? He said you say little buzzwords like that. You replace nigger and all that with buzzwords like freeloaders, welfare chiefs, all these things like that. You know what I'm saying? So basically, he created the whole new paradigm of talking about how to reshape the narrative and win over the so-called people who not necessarily be racist, but people who basically be open to that sort of talk. And so what they created was the so-called Reagan Democrats. They said things like affirmative action. Affirmative action is always associated with Black America, even though
white women benefit the most from it.
White women, Asians. It was actually Asians and white women. When they first came to affirmative action, right? First thing they did was they went into the thing and said, look, we got all these Chinese people here who can't speak English. We're going to basically translate a lot of stuff in English and give Chinese education so we can get them in the workplace as opposed to Black people. Now, in other words, Chinese was an alternative to Black people. So they created, instead of having, it was always, affirmative action was supposed to be about Black people, descendants of slaves, entering into the mainstream of American society. There wasn't supposed to be no ghettos right now in America.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They're supposed to be wiped out. We're supposed to be integrated into American society. But what they did was they created a thing called, they forgot integration and they created a thing called diversity. You know what I'm saying diversity meant that okay, if you look at the workplace, let's bring some color into it.
No. Hold on, Let me stop you right there. At my job at Centos, they tried to diversity also meant it say I like basketball and you like football. That's diversity.
Yeah. Wow.
I swear to God, bro, they gave me some also
I didn't know they got. I didn't know you took it to that level.
No, Colin. Also, diversity meant if there was a sales rep that was 35 and another 45, that's
right. Oh, if somebody's a transgender, if somebody's a paraplegic, you know what I'm saying? That's diversity.
Guys, can we get these likes up? We have 179 people watching, only 59 likes. Please hit the like buttons. And by the way, my Marcus Garvey shirt I got from Personal Advisor, a good brother here in Atlanta. I've been rocking his shirts lately. So, all right, go ahead.
Yeah, like I said, diversity also means if you were in a wheelchair, we gotta have a person in a wheelchair. You gotta have a blind person. You gotta have an Asian handicapped woman with one arm. You gotta have a Hispanic man who could speak Japanese. You know what I'm saying? So basically, you might have 1 or 2 black people here. Oh, we have a black person from Africa. Oh, diversity, you know. Mm-hmm. But you're filling your diversity quota. You know, the main thing is you don't have a bunch of Negroes from the inner city flooding into your job because if they could do that, they could buy homes, and they could buy homes. That means they're gonna be living next to you. You know.
Hey, Kala, repeat that again. You gotta repeat that.
Okay, if you have a bunch of Negroes coming, think about it. This ain't like so. This is before Bill Cosby and the Cosby Show and everything like that. Mm-hmm. White people were horrified of black people. Literally horrified. The very sight of black men and all stuff like that near white. You gotta understand the cultural context of America. The only thing white men ever thought of black men doing was raping having sex with white women, having money, being able to date their little girls, and their girls mixing with black boys and everything like that. So if you give them jobs, you give them opportunity, and you put money in there, teach them about 401k, teach them about investment, IRA, offshore, stuff like that, all those things that white middle America knows and everything, they will come into your neighborhoods and they fear that you are going to contaminate their gene pool and you're going to destroy their way of life. In many places, that's exactly what happened. You know? So the bottom line is slow that down. You know what I'm saying? And black men in corporate America, oh no. We'll bring black females in. We'll bring Asian males in. Not so much as Asian males. Asian females, Hispanic females, and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? We'll bring gay black men in, you know. We'll bring some blacks from the Caribbean in or stuff like that. We'll bring some Hispanics in and everything like that. But the African American slave descendant male from the plantation.
Hold on. African American.
The African American. But the thing is, the African Americans were holding the bill. Everybody else is joining the party, and we're paying the tab. So when the white guy gets mad because he sees all this diversity and everything like that, he'll still lash out against the Asians and everything. He lashes out the so-called African American. So-called African American. Why? Because every time you hear there was just a recent debate on this, right? Oh yeah, they were talking about this on O'Shea show, and somebody said affirmative action. I guess ADL. I guess these people have really got the message and everything. And somebody was saying, "Well, I defend affirmative action." How can you defend something that there's no data that we benefited from? You know. Affirmative action would only work if black people were in every precinct in every state evenly. You know, black people are concentrated in like 10 or 15 states. Excuse me, folks.
You get some water, Colin?
Yeah, let me get some water.
Everyone, thank you so much for joining us. Make sure you hit that like button. We have 190. only 78 likes. Please hit that like button. Stop being stupid with likes. The least you can do is like, share, subscribe if you're not super chatting. You know, we got brother Kalan. He's bringing that fire. Go ahead, Kalan.
All right. Now we're gonna talk about education. The people who are using education to tell black people. In other words, basically, let me tell you something.
Go ahead. Hey,
Everyone will tell.
Colin, sorry for cutting you off, but since we were speaking on home ownership somewhat as far as through getting jobs and buying homes, did you read the article about black homes being undervalued?
Of course, and that's another thing. How basically they undervalue black wealth in America. Black homes are being undervalued because the black neighborhoods are the least desirable to live in. We allowed a cultural context and willingly, like Compton. We think of Compton. We think of. Yeah. I ain't moving there.
Well, hold on, dude, listen. Since Compton is gentrified now, it's predominantly Hispanic.
No, let's say 1980s Compton.
Oh yeah,
1980s Compton.
That wouldn't step foot.
That was a downward spiral of negative equity growth. Why? Because somebody thinks it's cool to be out there with bandanas on, shooting up the neighborhood and everything like that, basically tearing the neighborhood up. Killer clowns and everything like that. But when we start talking about that, right, they'll start talking about, whoa, blah, 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 blah. Nobody in Black America takes responsibility. What it goes to tell me is this. If you really value Compton, you would have spoke out against the gangs, stuff like that back in the chance where you're there. But you were so scared of them, you let them take it, and now you don't have it in your neighborhood no more. What I'm saying is this, though. Some people say, well, what we could have did. I understand that. Just admit that you were scared. You were afraid of the gangs. You were afraid that, and many people spoke out against these Bloods and Crips, and they lost their lives.
Right.
So we let them rule the neighborhoods. And let's be honest with ourselves. Do we physically have the capacity to go up against these gangs and disarm them and take the thing? No, we don't. The powers that be like it the way it is. Your neighborhood's in chaos, your neighborhood's in turmoil, and all stuff like that. You're weak in everything. Why? Because they don't want Compton and all these other people thriving and becoming competitive with their neighborhoods. Now, you look at a couple 20, 30 years later, the white neighborhoods out there are thriving, still peaceful. Neighborhoods like Rodeo and all that, you drive through there, you still get your head busted up by the police and everything, and your neighborhoods are gone. But you were out there singing with Snoop Dogg and everything. Now, where's Snoop Dogg at? He lives in a mansion, a gated community someplace.
White neighborhood.
And he's with Martha Stewart and everything, you know? But the bottom line is this. There's got to be a point where smart black people have got to start drawing the line and say, I've had enough. I've had it. I've had enough. I'm sick of being a fool. I'm sick of being a clown. I'm sick of clowns leading me. I'm sick of being a fool. And the bottom line is, and then when you basically, in other words, basically black folks, I always thought black people, they always portray us as hip and cool. I didn't know there was so many suckers in Black America. Where's your street smart? And this is something missing, Dinah. I thought black people had street smarts. You know what I'm saying? You don't know when somebody's hustling you, or somebody's telling you lies, somebody's getting your money, somebody's lying to you, and somebody's misleading you, somebody's misdirecting you. You don't know that. You don't know when you're being played.
No, some people don't know. I mean, bro, let me say something. I'm gonna call this person out by name. You know, Brother Polite, okay,
oh Lord,
is still running the same. And like, if you're still getting hustled by Brother Polite, I do not feel sorry for you.
It's like all they have to do is basically, let's say somebody gets shot, right? All they have to do is put a mic in front of his face, right? What do you think about this? And he has a way with words. Oh man, Polite's deep. Mm-hmm. You not forgot about his last scam. You know what I'm saying? That's how we have bad amnesia. We have bad amnesia. We're completely forgiving about his last one. All he has to do is say, see the white man, blah, 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 blah. We have that straw man, the white man. You know what I'm saying? That works at all times. When in doubt, pull out your little straw man, white man, pull him out and everything like that. See the white man, dangle the white man in front of you. See, focus on him. That's a straw man. When somebody creates a straw man, that's a diverse tactic to get you focused on that, so you don't be focused on what they're doing. You create a straw man, and they say, "Well, you trying to say the white man is not?" Well, I'm not saying that. I'm, I'm saying, look who's using the so-called white man. Not every case is a white man thing. That's sometimes Negroes got to own up for what they do. So that's what. So if you're
Oh,
getting scammed by brothers like Polite and all these other people,
my favorite. Here's my favorite. Well, see, the CIA was placing guns, correct guns in the alleyways of
oh,
South Side Chicago. See, that's why all the killing because of the guns that were placed by the
oh, I
CIA.
have a better one for you, right? There are white guys dressed up as black men going around shooting black men and causing this warfare. See, what do you know what that says? As I said at the top of the show, when somebody will say that, right? They'll come out strong with, "Well, how do you know? How do you know?" I had to cut a couple of people off. I had to end a relationship with people online where people start talking that nonsense. Well, I know somewhere in Chicago, you don't understand that there's black people out here. We you go out to a store, we can't even look. Black men can't even look each other in the face and say hello without fights or stuff like that. You see it all the time.
Yeah.
You see it all the time on the internet. And then somebody's in the background posting it up. Oh man, you knocked that nigga out. Oh
World
no,
Star, World Star.
well, but 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 are those white men doing that? No. So what makes you think it's not far fetched that the same ignorant people are out there shooting each other and gunning each other? Now the records that we hear on everything, I'm gonna shoot that nigga, I'm gonna kill that nigga, and all this stuff. We let MTV give us a Cypress Hill, and for a generation, the person you worship the most, Snoop Dogg and those people, 50 Cent, those people, all they talked about was murder and mayhem of other black men. So if you create the cultural context of that, how you gonna come to me now talking about? I think all the killing in Black America, there's a bunch of white guys running around in black faces and shooting black people. Yeah, and you got people who actually believe it. Why? Because it's easier to believe that than to take some responsibility. And then what gets me is this: if somebody does listen to this very carefully, listen to this and listen to this very carefully. If somebody does not want Mashir Khan says surgery, do you think you give somebody like and Lavelle with Rep B discuss thought? Look, bottom line, if I could get somebody, some real people to talk to in the BA, I only talk to real people. I've talked to a lot of African government officials, and the College Genesis is not talking. Don't talk to just anybody. I don't go on everybody's show, and I don't talk to everybody because when you listen to us, the BL, we are serious. This is as serious as you can get, and this is as dangerous as you get. And I'm not going to candy coat this. This nationalist movement is not that we talk about is not a feel good movement. There's going to be pain and suffering, trials and tribulations. If this is what I was saying, if somebody's not willing to take responsibility for everything, forget the white man, forget all that stuff like that. If saying, look, let's take ownership and take responsibility. Why? Because when you take ownership and responsibility, you end up with the whole prize. You end up with everything in your hand. But the fact that you don't want to take responsibility or anything like that means you're only going to end up with crumbs and nothing in your hand to begin with. If you want to take responsibility, say, look, I'm going to take responsibility for black on black crime. I'm going to take responsibility for the failed relationship between black men and black women. I think that's our fault as men. We failed our women. Yeah, I know black women do a lot of things and everything like that. But as a man, what did we do wrong? When you take ultimate responsibility for your life, your personal life, your community, everything like that, you basically become the inheritor of of your posterity.
Hmm.
See, the College Genesis is here to tell you the truth. I don't come here with a little knife blade to try to peel apples. know what I'm saying? I don't just carve out little apples. Collagenesis carries two big double-bladed axes, and I'm here to swing those axes and knock down the tree of ignorance and cut them up. The collagenesis is here to slaughter sacred cows. All these beliefs and ideas that we hold that's not getting us any place. Now, somebody said about Dangote. Yes, they said no monopoly in Nigeria.
No, you're speaking
Now,
of
I like
method.
Dangote. Let me tell you something. Dangote is an umbrella. Most of the logistics in Dangote are partnerships with subsidiaries. But the Dangote has a thing where he has a good relationship with the Nigerian government, which is good because I think the only way you can have a organization like Dangote is where you have a large government like that. Even with as functional as Nigeria is, there was a policies of Abacha back in the 90s that allowed for Dangote. I knew there was some. I knew back in the 90s when Abacha came up with these policies that somebody like Dangote was going to arise. Nigeria is the only country in Africa that says we don't need to export produce and everything to get rid. We don't need to use the structural adjustment programs and everything like that to make money with Europe. We don't need the European Union. A Nigerian farmer can make money, become rich just selling inside of his own country. We need to build roads and bridges and everything, linking all Nigerian cities up, and we can create millionaires every day. And that's what happened. But the Dangote Group has subsidiaries, which are mostly Indian. Now, this is what I was talking about on the thread when where I have a disagreement with my sister, Dr. Momi, who I love and I respect. Okay, she alluded to the fact that African Americans don't need their own, not in this nation, our own communities in Africa. You know. Now, I say the reason why I say that is this: when the Indians come to Africa, right, or any other place, right, first thing they do is they'll have a primary investor. That's the big one. That's the flagship. You know, it'll
Right.
be Sosa Takahar, whatever his name is. Let's say they partner with Dangote, right? And because it's Indian firms that are actually partner with Dangote in that oil refinery, you know, and the logistics of that, you know. What you'll see from that relationship, right? First of all, it's a relationship between two governments: the government of Nigeria, actually three governments, the government of Lagos, right, and the government of India. Treaties, long-term agreements, everything like that signed on the bottom line that these people are party to. When you talk about African Americans, we do not have a government to do any sort of treaty, any of that too. So when people basically talk about African Americans should not have a nation state in Africa and everything, how are you going to sign agreements long term? What is our prognosis? You tell me we can't have a nation, we can't even have a community over there. Can't have any organized body of politics, everything. What's the point? Just to go over there and feel good about ourselves? No, if we're going to Africa, we have to go over there with the mind that we're going to create, build, and create. On one hand, we say go over there to build, go over there to build, but building takes organization. It takes government. It takes laws. It takes agreements. It takes treaties. You know, all these things need to take place before you talk about building. Now, here's the thing: Dangote will come in. The Indian company will come in. They'll say, okay, well, we'll supply you with these pipes right here, Dangote. We'll supply you with this. We'll supply you with this technology right here. We'll build this building right here. Building right here. Okay, you got a secondary group of businesses and everything who back up that business right here for procurement and everything like that, logistics, construction, whatever like that. Then the next wave will come in. There'll be Indians who say, okay, along with the agreement is, well, we need to, since we got a large community over here, we need to build our hotels. Okay, we can have that beach over there in Lagos. Next thing you know, you'll have a strip of hotels owned by Indians. You know what I'm saying? How'd they get here? How'd they get here? Well, it started with that first agreement, with the oil, with the gas or the gas project. Boom, boom, boom. They got hotels. Well, the next thing you know, well, to supply those hotels, they got importing their own rice, their own goods, their own produce, and all the stuff like that. They got warehousing, they got all the stuff like that going on. and they're employing local people. Same thing the Lebanese are doing, and everything like that. You know, it starts with a major agreement, then they have secondary, primary, and then the last but not least is they'll have retail stores. Next thing you know, you saw Indian gas stations and everything like that around Lagos and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? People are getting gas, they're getting good service, blah 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 blah. You know, and this thing, next thing you know, you'll have convenience stores. They'll build convenience stores. Next thing you know, you got an Indian population who's thriving in Africa. That's the way it's done. You know what I'm saying? That's the way people move from one country to another in the modern world. But the bottom line is, what they want is for the black people in America to go to Africa empty-handed. Go there with your little investment and everything like that, not organized, not participating in any major project, not having any secondary project to bring other people in. And Black America has all this capability. Look at our brother John Cash. Now, Brother John Cashin was backed up by an African American nation state or a host country that says, boom, 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 you know, saying, let's, the next agreement that we have between this country and this, we want John Cashin to have that contract to build a metro rail. Now, he's going, are you going to see him when you go to Lagos? When you go to Lagos?
Yep, I'm going to see him. We've been communicating on WhatsApp. I'm supposed to see him.
No, he's going to tell you how far he's gone as far as like the metro rail.
Has there been any updates since last time?
Well, yeah, I haven't really asked him. He said they're talking about it now, but you know, just that other thing. You know, they're still working on getting the money together and stuff like that. You know, and stuff like that. But the main thing is, folks, is when you hear Colin talking about Africa, I have real people on the continent trying to do real things, and people have been on the continent for decades. You don't just go to the continent and talk about, oh, we're gonna do this right now. You just seen the light. Africa's the way, and you're gonna fly on a plane one time, and you're gonna tell all of us and everything like that. Oh yeah, this is where it's gonna do. It does not work like that. Like you heard what he said, right? You heard what John Catcher said. Those top people. He said, "There's no way you African are going to get near those people in Nigeria. Those top people." You know what I'm saying? Don't care if you're both black. It don't mean anything. You have to have. Somebody says, Carla wants to have an African American. I want to have a human experience in Africa. I want to be a black man in Africa. I don't want to care about no damn African American experience in Africa. I want to have success in Africa. You understand what that means? What is an African American experience in Africa? That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. You know. So the problem is this: the top people in Africa and everything, they're dealing with people that are billionaires. They talk to billionaires every day. They talk with powerful governments, Russia, you know, the EU. They talk to Canada. They talk to Japan. They talk to China. All these this is what you're up against. And we get upset when we see them doing business with the Chinese, but the Chinese are coming with and say, well, Chinese gave Africans $60 billion. That's spread out the country. That's less than $1 billion per country, right? Right. Black people in America got that on Sundays every day. We put more money in the collection plate on Sundays. God, if somebody would we would get serious about organizing and creating our own investment funds and stuff like that. If we ever got serious to stop playing and buck dancing, we have the same thing. We have the same power and leverage and influence. But we don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Everything is short term. Nobody wants to talk about long term building. You know? Let me give you an example.
Well, let me address something real quick. Haswell E580, Haswell E5820K. What are Somalians doing in Somalia? Okay, answer that question. All this, we got Minnesota on lock, has absolutely no benefit to your home country. America is benefiting more from Somalians than Somalia. So let's stop with this. We are the most successful immigrants, and we're doing well as immigrants when your home country is on fire. All right, go ahead.
What's successful? What's that? Why they work at McDonald's? Everybody. This is another thing when people get tired of immigrants. It ain't coming over here on a plane, working at McDonald's and everything like that. Not success.
Hold on. Stop the show. Haswell, what are Somalians doing in Kenya? All right. Again, let's stop with this. You know, we are okay. We're doing well as immigrants in in Minnesota when again Somalia is on fire. Okay, the Somalian community in Kenya is on fire.
The
So,
poorest country in the world.
oh, let's go. All right, go ahead. I'm done. Go ahead.
The poorest group of people on the planet, you know, the
Yeah, go
most
ahead.
illiterate. Not to diss Somalis and everything, but come on.
Yeah,
You
come
know,
on.
come on. The bottom line, what it is everybody gets into their little tribal jingoism and start bragging about their so-called community and everything like that. My community, my Somali community, my Nigerian community. You know what I'm saying? My community is doing good. You know. So yeah, the bottom, what it is these people are buying into this good American immigrant crap. You know what I'm saying? That America needs immigrants and all this kind of stuff like that. Where America does not need you. You know what I'm saying? Your country needs you. Africa needs you. You know what I'm saying? That's where you need to be going to, you know?
Now listen, go build up Somalia. I'll be impressed. But I'm not impressed by what the Somalian community is doing.
Well, my friend Winford Russell, right? American Liberian. He just won a mayorship in he run a city council in Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. So there's a Liberian community in Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. You know, he just run a city council. And he got this other American Liberian guy the mayor of Helena, Montana. But you know, but the thing is, the thing about the immigrants, the reason why they're able to beguile white people is the whole everything out of their mouth is white people when they see a black face, what white people love is they don't want to hear about slavery. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to hear about it's the guilt. When a black African American looks at white people, what we make them uncomfortable is because of slavery. That's what it is. Africans pick up on that and say, I'm gonna basically preempt that, and I'm gonna be like, be that good Negro. You know what I'm saying? Somebody said Joe Pass said Zulu national Zulu for once a black.
What go ahead address
Okay,
that.
first of all, Zulu nationalism. The only people that benefit from Zulu nationalism is the white Afrikaners. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Because the Zulu kings
majority of Zulus and whatnot, Zulus are Pan-Africanists, are African nationalists. Why? Because of the presence of whites in South Africa, right? Black people need a united black front. We don't need tribalism in South Africa. You know what I'm saying? So you don't need a Zulu state. What you need is a black African state in South Africa. You know, Zulu freedom is an attempt to divide the black community in South Africa and fall into the hands of whites. Because whites are united, whether they're English or Afrikaans. You know, that's what I say about that. That's what I say about that. So, what were we talking about before?
Something about I think we were talking about Somalia still or.
Oh, okay. Well. Back to that. You want to oppress us, build your home countries up and everything like that. And like I said, we would love to be a part of it. You know, so we would love to be a part of whatever you're doing on the African continent, whatever you're doing to be a part of it. The problem in Africa is this. The problem with Black America is this. And I've learned this. And look, I've learned this from dealing with Liberia, my brothers in Liberia, and everything like that. You know, and I've learned something. I had to humble myself and learn. You know what I'm saying? As Black people in America, we consider ourselves the most advanced Black people in the world. We consider ourselves first world and stuff like that. But when it really comes down to it, an African could come from the poorest state, right? He could come from the poorest state on the continent, but he still feels that he's better off because he's coming from an independent state. You know what I'm saying? And he somehow came to America voluntarily. You know what I'm saying? And you're not, and you are a slave, and that America, no matter what you say, no matter how much. Think about this. Black people will say, "This is my country. I'm American." Blah 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? Now people are going around white America saying, "I'm a copper-colored American." You know, copper-colored Negro,
indigenous Negro, copper color,
all kind of stuff like that. All kind of pretty loony, crazy stuff like that, right? The whole idea is Black people in America are missing out on having a land and a nation to call their own. They say, well, you can say, well, the bottom line is the people who suffered debility from slavery and African Americans that have come from America. Oh Lord, who is this Joe P? Liberia was the black version of white apartheid. You know this guy? I bet you any amount of money, this guy's a white guy. Get him out of here. He's a white. Anybody says that he's a white Liberia was a black version, but I bet you any amount of money he's a white guy. He's trying to justify. He's trying to use a straw man of Liberia to justify apartheid in South Africa. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing compared to white apartheid in South Africa. Liberia, Africans and the African American descendants married together. They built the country together. You know what I'm saying? Get this guy out. He's a clown, The white guy posing as this, that, and the other. Anytime somebody basically comes in here with this Liberia stuff and whatnot, that's their excuse to basically say that black people in America are like anything like white people, and that we will do like white people and all this kind of nonsense. We have to say history of white people. When the bottom line is this: your race, the white race, bragged about being the white man. You know what I'm saying? We never self-proclaimed ourselves on any soil to be the rulers and oppressors of another race of people. When African Americans went to Liberia, every last single agreement was a peaceful country. The settlers lived with 16 different tribes, and they lived in peace by treaty. Each one of the African American settlers, where they lived in proximity to the indigenous people, learned the indigenous languages. The indigenous people learned English, and they went to African American, Liberian schools and institutions, and they worked in the government and everything like that. So this idea that there was this divide between the two people, it was never a divide. They married each other, they went to school with each other, they did all stuff like that. So what they do is they create this fake apartheid like the state, with blacks from America were ruling over the indigenous people. That's a lie. That's a lie by people who want to basically who want black people in America think. Somebody tries to say Liberians mixed up with the locals, and local make it. They were educated. Yeah, the locals were educated. They could run for government and anything like that, be president, whatever like that. They could. The vice president under Howard in Liberia was an indigenous Liberian. So this idea that America, like we said, this apartheid government, shut the hell up, But you have black people who will say that and everything out of ignorance. You know what I'm saying? They said so sorry. Oh wait, the black people didn't oppress the local. No, we didn't. No, they didn't. It was a freaking lie. Pick up my novel. Read my book. You know what I'm saying? Read my novel. Go to my novel, Journey to the Promised Land. Get yourself education. I'll give you some more books to read about Liberian history. You don't know anything about Liberia. Just because it was a successful country, it must have been something wrong with it. Just like now what's going on in Rwanda. About a good friend, Dr. Mumbio, I was talking about.
Go ahead.
Love her to death. Love her to death. But when she says stuff like black people in America shouldn't even have communities in Kenya, that's a problem. Okay, they meet together and everything. Let me ask you a question, Dinus. Is anybody? We just had a Somali guy talking about his community. Now, how come the burden of Pan-Africanism is always on us?
It's always on
the Somalis is joining the black so-called community in America. Hey, why is he talking about his so-called community? Why are they sticking together? Why are they pulling their money together? Why are they acting like a community and everything? Why is the Nigerians in America sticking together? Why is the Liberians got their own Facebook groups and own social groups? The Liberians are do you know the Liberian community in America is 10 times more organized than Black America? They got yes, they are. Look at one of my group, the Association of African Americans from Liberia. There's literally hundreds of Liberian faces. Matter of fact, Liberians are probably the most organized political group outside of Africa in America. They have their own Miss Liberia pageants in America. You probably don't know that.
No, I didn't.
They got the Miss Africa USA, and they got Miss Liberia USA. They got each kind of the Grand Jeter Association of America. They got Booker T. Washington Institute throughout America now. Everything, these institutions that we built over there, the Rick Institution of America now, they're coming back to America now. So they're building their own communities outside of Liberia in America. And they're way more organized than Black America is. You know, so therefore, all these people can organize around their culture, their land, everything like that. But when somebody basically talks about African Americans having a nation state. Forget the nation state. Can we have a community over there? Can we have an organized community over there? You know what I'm saying? An organized community, organized district, which we meet on a regular basis, with our own trading groups, our own associations, our own clubs, and everything like that, and everything.
Well, they have that in Ghana. I mean, they do have community in regards to Black Americans.
Yeah, they have a community in Ghana, but some people have a problem with that. You saw what happened in Bianca. You know, we had a conference call a couple weeks ago. Sister was like, she was in
Yeah.
Ghana, she went to Bahama a couple months ago, and she said somebody told her, "Don't ever mention Bianca ever again. Don't ever mention one of the locals, one of the chiefs, whatever. Don't ever." During the very appearance of Bianca, never mention Bianca again. Blah 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? That would be damnation to you here and everything. All this kind of freaking nonsense, Don't ever talk about Fiancra. Fiancra was, oh my God. Don't ever mention Fiancra. And people will ask me, well, I hope I don't have to explain what Fiancra is, you know. But that's what it is. We basically, as Black people in America, I don't know if the doctor will understand that and everything. We have to get ourselves together. I want to see Africans take the first step in unity and show us that they're serious about unity first. If you say that African Americans don't need a nation state, don't need all stuff like that, but yeah, you come to America, you take all the benefits of America, you use affirmative action, you use all the stuff like that we help build in America and everything. You use the resources and opportunities that were really meant for us and everything. But yeah, when it comes to Africa, you don't want us to have anything. I asked a question in our NING group, the BAL NING group, about the oil blocks, all the oil blocks along the African coast. How many oil blocks are designated for the African diaspora? Do you know about any, Dinus?
No, none.
None. How many mines are earmarked for African diasporas to get together and invest and build something with? None. So all this is going on, and you got the Chinese illegally mining gold, mining this and doing all stuff like that. They're constantly busting Chinese in Zambia and Uganda, illegally mining this, illegally doing this, and without any guns and repercussion, everything like that. Ask the question. So where's the African diaspora fit into all this? Now you ask the question, and I want to know. Like I said, while we're on the air, I don't know. I want to know. Somebody can tell me a legitimate reason why. Somebody said I could say when I heard Dr. Mominfield say that we need to integrate is disappointing. The strategy didn't address the physical. Of course not. When they said integrate to Africa, it's disingenuous. Get this guy Joe Peterson out of here. Yeah, Dinus.
Okay.
We got anything like this? Get him out of here. Get him out. Get him out.
All right, he's gone. Go ahead.
Get gone. I'm not. I don't play with this. Gone. Goodbye.
Guys, make sure you hit that like button as well. Hit that. Go ahead. Now, Colin.
Now, and I ask a question. If you are against African Americans and the African diaspora having either 12 million square miles, 95% of which is unoccupied and undeveloped, right? More land. There was a little white girl from Virginia who went to a part of Sudan and proclaimed her little kingdom. And her dad bought a piece of land. And she got her own little magical kingdom over there, everything like that. If a little white girl can do that, but you tell me the descendants of slaves cannot have a state, a nation state, a city state, not even 500 square miles. 500 square miles, something nobody would even miss. 500 square miles to build a city state, a geopolitical entity. What is so friggin' appealing about that? what is so wrong about that? It's that but nobody wants black people in America to have anything outside of what they think. That's because we are basically an oppressed people. And now it's the point where it's our oppression is to the point where anyone think they can oppress us. Anybody could think they could take what they want from us. Anybody could use us. Anybody could talk about us. Without any repercussions. There's almost no repercussions for talking smack about Black America. There's no repercussions for dissing us, for dismissing us, or whatever like that. There's no repercussions for anything. Nobody fears us. Nobody whatever like that. But the thing is, we just basically just go along with it, get along, and Pan Africanism is becoming the new Christianity. You know what I'm saying? Am I on the line?
Hey, that's the next video. Pan Africanism to become the new Christianity. We gotta do that's
Yeah, yeah, that's this new Christianity. You know what I'm saying? Nothing tangible, nothing real, nothing substantive on this earth. It just feel good, and emotionalism. It just praise, shout, and hallelujah. You know what I'm saying? And first, I'm a Christian, right? But I'm a Christian that believes faith without works is dead. You guys show me your workmanship with your faith. If you believe something, show me your works. Show me your deeds. Show me what your degrees could produce. Your degrees can't produce anything. Some people say, well, what do you think about all this? Look, after all the seminars, after all the symposiums, after all the lectures and everything like that, if you're not organized, right, and you don't have a pool of capital, a pool of business people, you're not going from here to here, investing in this, building this, everything, you need to shut the hell up. But yet at the same time, you're bashing black people over the head and talking about y'all need to create wealth. Y'all need to create wealth. You need to do this. You need to order my books, order my CDs, order my training, this, that, and the other thing. And you don't have any wealth and everything like that. You are a hypocrite. You are a fool. I just don't get it. Yeah. Somebody said Pan is becoming a new Christian. Yeah. The bottom line is this. You know why Pan is becoming a new Christianity? There's one single word: Negroes. You know what I'm saying? When you understand what a Negro, now we spell it like this: knee with a knee,
yeah.
grow.
Kennegrow.
Yeah. When you understand what a Negro is, right? Anything crazy is possible. They'll turn a revolution into a slavery. You know what I'm saying? They'll have you back on the plantation, calling it a revolution. You know? Yo, my boy Luke Airwalker says, no, this is what I'm talking about, brother. This is what he says Patton needs a new name. No, we just need to have a real defined goal and mission. We keep changing the name. We go from
Hold on,
Negro
hold
to
on.
African American.
How are you going to get gang members from Chicago to go to Africa? I'm not trying to get gang members from Chicago to go to Africa. They can stay in Chicago.
Yeah, gang members. I'm not trying to get no gang. I know this H is first. I know this person. This person was battling me. They're basically against the idea of a nation state. So I know who this person is. It's just that person said something real slick on one of your chats, one of your threads the other day, and I had to eat them up.
No.
Gang member. Who's talking about gang members? If you come to the BAIO, our social network, it's a gathering place of scientists, engineers, builders, business people, and everything. The people that join the BAIO are top people in Black America. People that can do this. People that are city planners. People that do all this stuff like that. Our friend Dr. Overton. This guy's has degrees up to yin yang. This guy can build the cities and states and everything. He came across the BAIO and said, "Man, I found myself at home. I've been trying to do this." He lives in Canada. He said, "I've been trying to do this for decades. We need to build a city state in Africa." He's been at this for decades. So the BAIO is attracting the right type of people. We have engineers, we have civil engineers, we have scientists, we have doctors, we have everything. We have the skill, we have the intelligentsia in the BAIO, you know? And we don't take none of your money, folks. All we want you to do is join and understand that, yes, we want a nation state of our own. That's without, of course, now you could go to Africa, integrate into African society. Hey, I have no problem with that. You know what I'm saying? But I know eventually you're gonna be crawling back to us. You know, when you feel lonely and you feel this and you feel out of place, you're gonna come back to us. You're gonna come back to your own people. We need a nation state of our own, city state, nation state that says to the world with our own diplomatic channels, on diplomatic ties. When you see high level officials, those people that we worship every day, that all this president of such and such, this guy Macron, Trudeau, and all these people are not superior to you. We should have government of our own where we have the people that can look world leaders in the eye and speak on our behalf. I'm sick and tired of being a subclass of people in this country. And I'm not going to sit there and go from one situation where I'm at the bottom of America to be the bottom of somebody else's society. I want my people, African American, the slave descendants from the Caribbean, North America, and everything, have a place on the African continent where we could build a nation of our own. You know, that's what the BAIO is for. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're for. That's what we're for. That's what we're for. We're for that. Now, it doesn't mean that everybody is like this. You can do whatever you want. You can integrate with Africa. You can marry. You know what I'm saying? My fiance is Liberian. You know what I'm saying? You can do all this stuff like that. You say, oh, hey, you can go to Kenya. You can go to Sudan. You can go to Nigeria. Everything. Brother John Cashin, he's in Lagos, Nigeria, working on the Metro Rail. I have a brother, my brother Heru, he's in Zambia, working on a major road project. You know what I'm saying? But they all have the faith that one day we're gonna have a chance to build a nation of our own. You know, that's what it's all about. We have brothers. My brother Mike Blanton is in South Africa doing tours. You know, doing tours. You know, doing luxury tours in South Africa. You know, we got people all over the African continent. Sister Kayla Sutton of African Americans in Africa is in Namibia. She's married to a Namibian husband. Found the love of her life in Namibia. You know, but she's still part of the African American experience. Anybody who's educated, no, you don't just dump your culture and who you are, no matter where you go. She's still an African American in Africa. You know what I'm saying? You can't completely assimilate altogether. It takes generations. It takes hundreds of years. And it takes assimilation takes shared experience. Africans have to give something up. We have to give something up. You know, it ain't come there and you forget who you are when I just assimilate. You know what I'm saying? You know what that leads to? That leads to something like Pol Pot. That leads to genocide. Should I repeat that again?
Repeat it again. Go ahead.
If you talk about when people tell you you need to come to Africa and just assimilate, integrate into a culture. First of all, when we talk about assimilation, usually the people who are superior, the superior culture, people usually graduate towards that. Like Singapore, Chinese was the superior, the dominant culture, dominant, not superior, but dominant culture. So most people with Chinese, so that's what Singapore had to break it up a little bit. They put Indians and everybody, make sure everybody's culture was represented, or Chinese would dominate. You know, even if we went to Africa, it's very likely that our culture would dominate where no matter where we went. Black America, our culture would dominate no matter where we went. It's just it's the truth. That's the truth.
Hey, it was crazy, Kala. It's already dominating.
Yeah, it's dominating. You know, I'm a rather fool. Yeah, I'm a rather fool. Kung Fu Joe.
Let me get a couple shout outs. Shout out to Christopher Bazin for the super chat. Shout out to Akatunde Bonin for the super chat. I'm building an investment proprietary firm, Kala. Some of us African Americans are on our business. I thirst for nationhood. We at least need a BAIO enclave. I'm also a dentist.
I don't know him. I think he sounds familiar.
Yeah,
Ask him, is he in the BAIO? I think he is in the BAIO. I think he is. Is he? Ask him, is he in the BAIO?
Are you in the BAIO, Akatunde?
Yeah, I think he is. I think he is. Well, we're having I'm having a conference call tomorrow night. If you're in the BAIO, I'm having a conference call tomorrow night. We're going to talk about this thing, you know, about the nation state and us doubling down. And and the bottom line is this, you know, the response I got from that video where Dr. Mummy said, no, they don't need a nation state in Africa. And Phil said they the blowback from that was like severe. And I'm very proud of our people in the BL who support this mission because everybody knows. And now the thing is this: no one's saying you can't do all the things you can. You can go there and say, I got a spiritual vibe. You know what I'm saying? I got a vibe. Well, get your spiritual vibe. Hey, look, get your vibe on. You know what I'm saying? Let them throw water on your head and get your vibe on. That's fine. But the bottom line is, and I support that, you know, you want to get your vibe on, somebody throw water on your head. You know what I'm saying? You want to call the ancestors. Look, go right ahead. But this idea that we're going to have a land and that we're going to have a geopolitical entity. You know what I'm saying? The why? Because in that geopolitical entity, you'll be able to get your vibe on. You'll be able to get your spirituality on. You know what I'm saying? Can Africans join Coon Crackers Killer? I don't know. This guy's trolling. Yes, Africans can join the BAIO. Then we don't discriminate against anybody. If you go to the BAIO, we have different chapters for different African countries. You know why? Because infrastructure is universal. When we say infrastructure, we mean things like roads. We mean institutions. You know, we mean banks. We mean logistics companies, logistics firms. We mean science. We mean engineering. All those things are infrastructure. If Africans are on the continent, why wouldn't they're going to be part of our infrastructure. You know, so of course they're going to be physically integrated with us. Yeah. So why wouldn't an African be able to join the BAIO? We have plenty of African brothers that Dinus, tell them about. We got Africans in the BAIO. We don't make any distinction.
I mean, pretty much everybody from the diaspora on the continent are all members of the BIO.
And but they all believe that we need to build a city state. The Africans that support us are like, yes, we need that. We would love to have a place where we could do business with the diaspora. You know, we don't have to come to America to do business with the diaspora. We can have a meeting place where the Africans from the diaspora and Africans in the continent could meet together and do business together. You know what I'm saying? What is so difficult about that? The people who are against that, you know what I'm saying, I don't know what to tell them, you know? I really don't know what to tell them, you know? Black Financial says that is the aim of Torah I do. Is yours, but don't see Africa do anything without having a deep African ties. I mean, having African ties is this: when you have African ties, you know what the best way to have ties together? I think somebody said this: when you're doing business together, when you have a business contract together for 30 years or long term, and you're doing business together. You know why? Because you're going to be playing golf together. You're going to be doing the Watusi together. You're going to be doing all those things together to make sure your money and everything is right. You know what I'm saying? That's the way it works. If you want to know, because I got people on the African continent right now. I helped establish the African Gold Bullion Bank in Angola. It's all about money. All that it's all about business. Africa is not no emotion, no spirituality. Matter of fact, even more than any other place in the world, it's about the bottom line. It's about business. If you can't bring no business to the table and everything, if you're not in there for the long term and everything like that, you're not up and up. Don't even bother with this. You know. So that's how it's going to work. If we have business ties, and like I said, Diane, let's talk about your thing that happened this weekend.
Yeah, go ahead.
I listened to some of it when I was very impressed with the gathering. It's a start, right? But can you tell me any tangible things that came out of the thing? Anything tangible that came out of the thing this weekend?
No, I mean, people putting their money. I mean, actually, a lot of people wanting to pull their resources together and build in Africa. I mean, there are people that are serious. They just don't have. They now have a platform or a vehicle to do that now because we spoke on that. So I mean, Colin, there are a lot of people who are serious. Like there are.
The people that are serious. We want them to be successful. We need people in every last single African continent. You know what I'm saying? We need people in every last single continent. People are serious about building. You know, and then the other side of that is we need another thing is this. What we need next is this. If Black people in America are not represented by any government, right? What you need is agreements. I don't know how this is going to take place. Maybe we can start with, there was a couple of years ago, there was a couple of cities in America that started sister city projects, which there was cities that went to like places like countries like Sierra Leone.
Okay, well, there. So in what's the city? There's a city in Osun State whose sister city I think is Charlotte, or either Charlotte or
Right. And I helped us. I helped with the city state of Atlanta with Liberia with Cynthia Nash. You know,
yeah.
that was a
But
couple of years ago.
how are we benefiting from that? That's the thing. Because even the
But
sister,
we see the thing is with Cynthia. Weird thing is we don't see when Liberia was such my project, right? I never thought about benefiting. You know what I'm saying? I just my whole thing was like Cynthia Nash's whole thing was we want people not to forget the history of Black people and African Americans in Liberia. That's why we did that thing with Bob Johnson and getting Delta to do flights in Liberia and stuff like that. We did all that. It was not about making. That's what a lot of Africans don't seem to understand. A lot of things we do in Africa is just out of our passion, our love, and everything like that, you know. And we want to build the bonds and relationships and everything like that. We weren't really talk about the money. We let the business people make the money and everything like that, you know. What's complicating things is you have a lot of Africans that live in America who are very dismissive and suspicious of African Americans doing business in Africa. They'll say something like, "Well, charity begins at home." That's what I've been told. Well, why can't you basically take that energy and
here we
fix
go.
Detroit?
Oh, in Chicago, South Side Chicago. They
Yeah,
start
why are you so interested in Liberia? Why don't you fix Southside Chicago? And that
South Side.
hurts because we're like, wow, we're going to the way and we don't need your help and all stuff like that. But they will never say that to white people. You know what I'm saying? So they'll say it to white people. So, and I realize how tribalism is a really a problem. You know what I'm saying? When they see another Black person, they're like, whoa, who is he? Who is he? Is he my superior? Is he one up on me and everything? No, I'm not gonna take your orders for him. Who is he? But they had to swallow Bob Johnson because he did such a major investment there. You know what I'm saying? And they were even trying to stop that. They were even trying. People don't know that, but they were trying to stop him. When he did the Candagia hotel. There were people that were trying to there were Liberians trying to sabotage that. They were trying to sabotage that. They were trying to say, "Nah, man, that's sacred soil. Sacred soil. You guys were dumping dead bodies into during the war. You know what I'm saying? The skulls. They were still picking up skulls, even when they were doing the excavation of the cleaner it. They'll find buried bodies and skulls and everything. But that's suddenly a sacred ground and everything. So that's what it is. But behold, Delta resumed flights to Liberia as a layover from Ghana, and Bob Johnson helped do that, but he wasn't yeah, not anymore. But because Delta, Liberia is supposed to be getting this airport fixed, But the whole thing is, and that helped out Liberia because before that, Liberia would have to you have to go to Brussels and do a changeover. But then because of that, like that, Coon Cracker Killer. I can't take nobody seriously named Coon Cracker Killer. If you don't want to know about nation state, if you're not, most people who talk to me, Coon Cracker Killer, are on a different level. I don't have to ask. I don't have to answer those silly questions. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to answer those silly questions. They already know what they know what I'm talking about, and they know what the BAI was about. If you want to start something, everything like that. Google my name on Google. Find out who I am and start from there. I'm not gonna sit there and play catch up for anybody. You know what I'm saying? Or just listen to some of these past shows, and you get all the education you want. But I'm not slowing down for anybody. I'm going forward now. You know what I'm saying? Those of you gonna left behind, you're gonna be left behind. But somebody says African Americans who travel out with romanticize the idea of coming to Africa. The African culture is so complex that Africans feel insulted by Africa. Yeah, it does. The Africans feel insulted when you basically go there and first of all you call. See, when I talk to Liberians, I know which I get. First thing I do is I know which tribe, right? When I meet Africans, we have a lot of Africans here in Virginia Beach, right? And when I hear their name and everything like that, so I already know where they come from. And the first thing they say is, "Hey, brother, you know my name?" I say, "Yeah, I know all about your country." And I start after a while, we start talking about the politics of their country back home. And I'll say, "Yeah, such and such, man. When that election comes around, yeah, brother, yeah, I'm telling you, man, but you gotta come over. You gotta come over to Togo, man. I tell you, yeah, man. I tell you, right? You know what I'm saying?"
Hey,
And
I'll be in Togo in January.
yeah. And so especially we got a lot of Togolese here. in Virginia Beach. I got a lot of Togolese brothers here. And out of all the brothers I met, Togolese, Ethiopians, and Eritreans are the most friendly people to me from Africa. You know what I'm saying? And they're basically like, yeah, brother, again, because the Togolese, the brother, when they lived here for a long time, like the ones that grew up here, you cannot tell them from African Americans at all. You know? I told him, brother, I said, man, you and me, I said, yo, we could be brothers, man. We could be cousins. You know, I said, just slight accent, say, I know, basically, yeah, you know, this, that, the other thing. You know, so the bottom line is, yeah, you know, you call each other brother and everything, mean it too. But the whole thing is this, I want to know more about your country. I want to know about this. And that's the part of Pan-Africanism I want to know is, I want to know about African country. I want to know about your different cultures. I want to know what's going on in your country. I want to know all those things. But at the same time, there's a desire for me to have something of my own. And Africans have to learn to respect that. You know what I'm saying? We have to learn to respect that, you know? And then also, at the same time, we're going to have to relinquish some things in America. We have to basically understand that Africans are coming over here and they don't have our story. They don't have our narrative. We can't expect them to have the same view towards white people and white America that we do. So let them be their own thing. Let them be their Nigerians when they come here. They don't want to join our struggle and everything like that. Fine. If we say it like that, that's the way Black America will be. That means the whole narrative of Black America will change. Now it's time for us to change the narrative of Africa. Africa has to make way for the African diaspora to come home.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If now Africans are going to come here, then we have to be over there. If Africans come here freely and rise to the top of America, like you got people running for office in America. Think about this, Dinus. Tell me if I'm wrong. If Africans come here in America, somebody said, Amari said, Africans all us. If they're in America, they're in our spaces. They're running. They're taking our roles on television, and I have nothing. We have nothing like that. Dan Okoye, the guy played Get Out. I have no problem with African brothers. I love Black Panther and whatnot. You know, sister, what's her name? Both the sisters of Black Panther. I love the movie. You know what I'm saying? Lupita, love Lupita. You know what I'm saying? We have no problem with that. You can come over here. Everybody knows African Americans are not like that. You know, you come over here. You know what I'm saying? You could basically assimilate with us and be with us and everything. We don't care. You know what I'm saying? Because there's African Americans represent every phenotype of African. You know what I'm saying? There's us Africans that look like Lupita. There's Africans that look like the Ethiopians. There's African Americans that look like the Ethiopians. There's African Americans with the darkest complexion. There's actually light skin. And we have every phenotype of Black people. So you can come in Black America and fit in. You know what I'm saying? So my whole thing is this, you know, now it's time for us to, as African Americans, to say, okay, where's our part of the African continent? You're coming over here. You're changing the dynamic of Black America. Black America is not the same descendant of slaves anymore. That's changing. It's irreversible. We have a large African community over here in America. You know what I'm saying? So when it's not the same thing as we used to have growing up. You know, where everybody came from the South. You may have some people from the Caribbean. Now you got people from Africa. You know what I'm saying? They don't have the same story and narrative. They don't know anything about slavery. So they don't see the white man as the same way we do. So what do we do with that? We simply have to adapt and adjust, and that's why I said nationalism is a thing. We have to have something on the African continent. Why? Because other than that, our voice is going to die. You know what I'm saying? And it's already being diminished. Yeah, 4 million Africans in America. What happens when that number gets to 8 million? You know what I'm saying? The whole identity, like there's a girl, they said Nigerian in America. They already call themselves Nigerian Americans now. Now they call themselves Liberian Americans, Somali Americans. You know? So it's not the same narrative. You see a Black man, he's African American. So in other words, basically, the white man can't run up to, yo, what up, blood? What up? What up? What up? What up, my nigga? You know what I'm saying? It's not the same thing.
Hey, they're doing that in Africa.
What?
What's up, my Nick? They do that to each other in Africa.
Wow. Yeah, this is thing. How many minutes we into the show, Diane?
Oh man, I mean, we'll go ahead and close out. We've been going for almost 2 hours now. That's
Oh
good.
wow, that's a good show.
Got a good
I
show.
think
So,
we covered everything. Are we gonna do Saturday night? Saturday, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do a show Saturday night. You know, I might never. I don't think
well,
I'll
we
be
got
able
to.
to do a show.
We can't do on Saturday because I leave Wednesday to head back.
Okay.
So we can't do it
I'll see
Saturday.
if I'll see. I might be able to do one Sunday night.
Sunday. Yeah, Sunday's cool. Sunday's cool.
I'm gonna see if I might be able to do one Sunday.
Yeah, let me.
Sunday night. Be my Sunday night closeout show before you leave. So, all right, folks, go get my book, Journey to the Promised Land, Voyage of the Barkazor on Amazon. Read it's a good book, feel good book. It's a feel good book. Make you feel right at home in 19th century Black America and Liberia. And join the BAIO. We're not a non-joke. BAIO, the main thing about BAIO is tell us what you do. We had a brother in the BAIO, a young brother. He posted, he said, I've been, a lot of times people will sit quiet. He's been in BAIO for like a year. He said, I just got my master electrician thing. I'm an electrician. And he just got a job overseas. But he's inspired by his drive is to be able to one day work in our new nation state that we're going to get in Africa. So people, young people, I got young people in their 20s saying, I can't wait to be the best electrician in the world. You know what I'm saying? Become a journeyman in my new nation to help build my new nation. So you're going to tell me that I'm going to say, something, let's not build. When we got people that are becoming welders, everything in the BF, people going to school getting their degrees and going back getting more education, everything, people are ready for this. People are ready to lend a helping hand in building Africa. You know?
Mm.
You know? So join us. Join us. Join us. Tell us what you do. Tell us what you want to do. Tell us what you want to do. We're not an organization that talks a bunch of stuff. We talk about land, infrastructure, nation. We talk about science, technology, building, engineering. If you like science, you like building, and you like all these nerd things that we talk about, and how stuff are built and everything. If you like how you want to know how cities are built, you want to know how railways are built, you want to know, we'll talk about how bridges are built, how tunnels are built and everything. The BAIO is the type of organization you want to think because there's nothing in the world that's being built that we don't study. Governments, this is how governments are run, the history of governments. What is a republic? We debate everything in the BAIO because we're going to be that strong and ready for Africa when we get there. Next generation coming up is going to be fierce. They're going to be ready. You know what I'm saying? Where the city state to be built, hey, that's to be determined. That's to be determined. Who knows? Several countries in there looking for it. But hey, look. He said, why is our BA website so bad? What do you mean so bad? You know what I'm saying? It's a social network. We have different groups. Go in there. If you want to contribute something, Travel 4K, go in there and contribute. Add some pictures. You know what I'm saying? Build your profile page up. Join a group. Form another new group. Add to it. It's infinite. You can add to it. You can add to it if you think we're lacking something. Add to the organization. Don't tear down. You know what I'm saying? It's what we do. Come in. The BAL is not about a collar thing. It's about all of us. You know what I'm saying? Everyone in Black America and the Black diaspora or Africans and African descendants could join the BAIO if you're about building something constructive. You know what I'm saying? If you're about something constructive, hey, you could join the BAIO. Tell us what you're about,
Let me throw the link. Let's see. Here go the link right here. Bam. There you go. There goes the link, everybody. Well, everyone, thank you so much for joining us. Kala, brother, it was awesome. Again, everyone, thank you so much for joining us. Make sure you go to BAIO. The link's in this. I put the link in the chat room. Make sure you guys go ahead and go there and sign up. Also, go to Search for Huru on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, and Facebook. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Until next time, Dynasty Samir, Kala, Genesis, peace.
Black power, peace.